Hey guys, this is just one guy, and this is my tutorial series, Unity for Noobs. Now, in this episode, we're going to make a music manager, and what the music manager is going to do is choose a song at random and then play it. And it's going to smoothly fade in the song and smoothly fade out the song. Now, let's take a look at what it does. Well, how it works. Now, I've got this simple game object, which is an empty game object with the script music manager on it, and that's what we're going to be focused on right now instead of going over all the scripts. Okay, we have these normal songs right here and these battle songs right here. Let's just pause this for a minute. And what it's going to do is it's going to, depending on whether the game is in battle mode or is in normal mode, which is how I set it up, it's going to choose one of these random songs and then it's going to play it and then slowly fade it in. Now you can already see it chose one of the songs right here, which is Church Medium, which is the first one. Now if I hit the button to go into battle mode, it'll switch and it chose one of these songs, and as you can see it's slowly fading it in, and that's basically what this does. And when this song stops playing, it's going to play the next one and slowly fade it in. It's fade it out in the same manner. Let's stop this. Okay, let's go over how it works. We have these three scripts right here. First, the music manager, which is right here. And then we have the simple music controller, which goes on the character. Now this is just an example script to show you how you would get it to work. We just basically check whether the game is in battle mode or not, and then depending on that mode, we play the random song or we play the random battle theme, and I'll go over that in a second. And then we have the utility class, which just calculates a bunch of math functions. You won't really have to mess with this at all. Okay, let's go over the game manager script. Now you need an empty game object to be created in your scene, and then you need to put the music manager on it, and then you need to put the audio source on it. Now I might change this up where it adds the audio source automatically, but just make sure that there's an audio source on the component on the game object that has the music manager, because it needs the audio source to play the music. And right here we have this array of songs called normal songs, and I've chosen to put 3 songs in here. And we have this array of audio clips called battle themes, and these are all the battle themes in the game. Now it's important to note that the number of normal songs and the number of battle songs must be even. You must have the same amount of battle songs as you do normal songs. Now if you just wanted just to play normal songs, you would just take all these right here and put them in here too. Just these have to be even. The script depends on these to be even. If there's 3 normal songs, there has to be 3 battle songs. But you can change this and put as many songs as you want. It just has to be even. If you put 1,000 songs right here, put 1,000 songs right here. Okay, next we have the variable in battle. Now this just lets you know whether the music manager is in battle mode or in normal mode. If you just wanted to play normal songs, this wouldn't really matter. But if you wanted, because I set this up for like a video game type state. When you go into combat, it'll play different themes, and that's kind of how it's set up. And right here we have the number of songs in game. Now this is a little bit misleading, because although it's the number of songs in game, it's only the number of normal songs or battle theme songs, not both together. That would mess up the way this works. So just put in the number of normal songs, and remember that the number of normal songs has to be equal to the number of battle themes. Okay, now we go over that. Now we have the maximum music volume, and the reason I made this a variable is, for one, so it would slowly fade in, and 2, if you wanted to change this in options, like if you were making a normal game in the options menu, they would have let the player be able to set the max sound value. But if you don't want to have it like that, just set it to 1 and leave it. It just has to be set, because if it's at 0, you won't hear the music at all. So make sure to set this to 1 or something whatever you want to set it to. But I would just set it to 1. And then we got playing battle theme song and playing random song, which don't really matter. They just click on when you depending on which song you're playing. And then we have the audio source component, which we don't really do anything to. It just needs to be on the game object. Next we go to our player. Now I'm using a rigid body first person controller. And what I have on them is the Simple Music Manager controller. Simple Music controller. Now this script only has one variable, which is the game manager. It needs to find the music manager script. So wherever you put this music manager script, the game object you put it on, just drag that game object right in here, and that's it. Now if you don't do this, the script will tell you. Excuse me. The script will let you know, and it'll give you an error right here, and it'll tell you that you need to do that. And I've set it up that way, so just so you know. And of course, our third script is the utility script, which I'll go over in a minute, but you don't really need to mess with this at all. Now I'll try to put this in a project and put so you could just download the project directly, because I feel it'll be better that way. But if I'm not able to do it that way, I'll just put a link to these 3 scripts. And of course, all the music that I use is free. I don't own the music, so even if I do put the project up, the music won't be in there. What I'll do is I'll put a link to this music, because you can just download it off the asset store. Also, these ground textures too. I'll probably just leave the ground. I'll just probably leave the ground out of it. I messed up a bit. Sorry, I had to pause it for a second. Visual Studios took a moment to open up. But now let's go over scripts. First, we have our simple music controller, and as I said before, it just has the variable of the music manager. And right here in the start function, it says if you don't set the music manager, it'll just debug it. It'll just give you this error right here that the music manager script has not been found, and it asks you to place the music manager game object in here so it can find the music manager script. Now, if you ever get confused, I've commented all this out right here, but I'll just explain it in this video too. I set it up so the input get key up alt key. Right alt puts the game in battle mode, and it switches the game out. So it creates like a loop. If you press it the first time, it goes into battle mode. If you press it a second time, it comes out, and then it does it again and again and again, as many times as you press the button. And right here, it's just calling a function that's in a music manager called choose random song, which will be if it's not in battle mode. Wait, ooh, it's backwards. I'm going to change that. But it's calling this function manager choose random song if it's supposed to be not in battle mode. Else, if it is in battle mode, it's going to choose the play random battle song thing. Then we have the utility class right here, and it's just does a bunch of math. You won't have to mess with this at all. If I download the project, if I put the project link up, you'll just be able to download it, and you won't even have to mess with this. If I don't put the project link up, then you'll just copy and paste this, and you won't have to mess with it again. But what it basically does is this calculates the percentage amount of something. Say you want to find what was 3% of 55,000 or something like that. This would give you the answer to that. And this right here, it's just say you had a number like 5, and you wanted to pick a random number between 1 and 5. This would pick that random number, and that's how it chooses the random song, which is why we have it right here. Then we have the actual music manager script, which does all the work. And first we have this array of audio clips called normal songs, and this holds all the normal songs in the game. Then we have the player, which is the audio source. I've made this private because you shouldn't have to mess with this. The script will get it automatically, but make sure the game object that you do have the music manager on does have an audio source, because it will give you an error if you don't. And right here we have the normal songs, the battle themes, and audio clip array. And it's important to note, as I went over before, the number of normal songs must be equal to the number of battle themes. Then right here we have this boolean in battle, which basically tells the script whether it's in battle or whether it's out of battle. Then right here we have random song int, and this is just used for calculating which random song to play. Right here we have the number of songs in game, which I went over before, must be equal to the number of normal songs or battle theme songs. Not both of them combined together. That would mess it up. So if you have 3 normal songs, just put 3 3 as the number of songs in game right here, and make sure that the battle theme is equal. I know I keep saying that, but if you don't do that, you're going to get a bunch of errors and the script won't work properly. Then let's see. Right here we have playing random song. This just lets you know that you're playing a normal song. And right here we have the song length. This gets the length of the this is used for calculating how to fade out the song. And what it does is it gets the length of the audio clip, and then when it's used for calculating when we get to 5% of the end song. So it calculates 5% of the length, and then when it gets to 5% of the song left, it starts to fade it out. And I'll go over it because the function is down here. Then we have we have start fading in. This just lets us know when we should start fading the song in. And then we have the fade counter, which is used for fading in and fading out. Then we have the max music volume, the maximum volume we want for the music to be playing. And then we have the playing battle song thing, which just lets us know when we're playing a battle song. Now let's go down a little bit. Right here, we get the player, the audio source on the game object. And if you didn't put an audio source on here, this will give you an error. I might change it up so it adds it automatically, but right now just make sure that the audio source is on the game object that has the music manager. Then we have the number of songs in the game. This is just used for calculation. Next we have to play a random song, because at the beginning we're not going to play a battle thing, we're going to play a random song because that's how we want to start off. Now right here, the reason this right here just says number of songs plus 1 is because whenever you're calculating something random, there's this error in Unity where if I say pick a number from 1 to 5, it won't actually do that. It'll pick a number from 1 to 4, and I don't know why Unity does that, but it does. And this just solves that little error right here. I mean, right there. Then we have the function of fade out, and it just lurks the song slowly from its max volume to 0. Then we have fade in, and it just says if start fading in, because that's the variable we use to tell if we want to start fading in. It fades the song from whatever the volume was to its max volume. And then it sets start fade in to false when it hits its max volume. Next, we're calling the fade in function all the time. We're just controlling it by saying this variable right here, when it tells it to start fading or not. And if it's at max volume, then it's not going to do anything at all. So that's why fade in is right here in the update. And the fade counter, I forgot exactly what that does because I wrote this script a long time ago, but it has to do with the fading, so we just don't mess with this. And we were fading by time dot unscaled time. This is kind of important because I notice whenever you're doing a time calculation that where you need exact time, you want to use this variable right here. I mean, this type of time right here, unscaled delta time. If you were to change it to some other type of time, it would mess up on counting seconds or something like that. I don't know why Unity works that way, but it's a good tip to remember if you're trying to calculate like something like time or something that needs to be really exact. It's best to use unscaled delta time. Then we have if let me see. Oh, the fade out right here. It just controls when we want to fade out. Playing a random song, that controls that, and that controls playing the battle theme song. Let's go down here. And this is the function to play the battle theme song. First we set in battle true, then we say the volume equals 0 because we want to cut the sound. We want to make sure the sound is at 0. Now, if it's just playing in a normal game setting, the sound will already be 0. So this just makes sure it's like that, because the in a normal game setting, the song will have faded out at 5%, and it will at 5% it'll start going down to 0 on the last song. So when it starts playing a new song, which will be called with this function, it will already be at 0. But this just makes sure, like if you switched it, if it's not at 0, then it's gonna go to 0, just so we don't get any errors or anything. And then it chooses a random song to play, and then it goes through the battle themes, and if it's in battle, it chooses a random song, and then it just it gets the length of the song, and then hold on. I wrote this some time ago, so I forgot exactly how this works. But if I remember, it's calculating 5%. It's using that percentage value to calculate 5% of the song's ending, and then when it hits that point, it does the fade out thing. But right now, it's telling it to fade in and start playing the song and everything like that. But this right here is used for calculating what's 5% of the song left. Like, say if you wanted to change it where you wanted it to fade out at 3%, you would change this number right here. And I probably should have made that a variable, but I didn't. It's just I didn't really need it like that when I made the script, so that's just how I made it. And I think that's basically it. And just for error's sake, like if you were switching a song super quickly and you didn't give it time to search for songs, it says, hey, if we're not in battle, just choose a random song. And that's just make sure you couldn't possibly get errors by pressing the button like 50 times a second or something like that. I know that's impossible, but it's just in case. And the normal song thing, choose normal song. It does the same thing as the battle theme function, but except for the normal song. Now, you really won't have to mess around with any of this. I just wanted to explain and go over how it works. And I think that's it. I'll try to put this in a project download, but if I can't, I'll just put the link to the 3 scripts. And if I do put this in a project download, it won't have this music in here, but I'll put the link to the because I downloaded this off the asset store, so I'll put the link to the music in the description.
And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to suggest a tutorial, please suggest a tutorial in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.